Okay.
Good morning, class. Why we should recycle in America. Imagine living on a planet where humans have to wear oxygen masks and live in spaceships because we have run out of resources on Earth. Sounds like a movie you would see in theaters about the future on Earth. Although this idea seems to be partially absurd, there is an underlying truth to what authors and movie directors base these futuristic books and movies from. The world and country we live in is filled with consumers. These are the people that buy the product and leave behind the waste. The more product consumed, the more waste is left behind. And if we do not do something about our waste, those futuristic movies and books have a possibility of becoming reality. The United States alone produces 135 million tons of municipal waste per year, and this number is continually growing. In order to keep our environment clean and safe for a greater amount of time, recycling used materials is a necessity. Therefore, Americans should recycle at the workplace, at home, at school, and avoid litter. I found it shocking that in my exam, about half the class was aware of what recycling is. The thing that blew my mind was that about 95% of the class recycles, but going along with that, of those 95%, 65 litter. So what it's saying is that you know it's good to recycle, but however, at times you pollute. In the 1970s and 80s, the recycling program began in the United States. The program started by paying consumers for their used glass, plastic, and paper if they bought the products to a drop-off center. Recycling drop-off centers helped to start the recycling movement because consumers were given an incentive to recycle products that would ordinarily be thrown away. By 1990, consumers began to recycle in order to help the environment instead of collecting money for the used goods. Since 1990, the rate of recycling has grown tremendously. Not only are consumers recycling more, but they're using less products or using reusable materials to conserve resources. In the 2010 legislative year, the Florida legislation passed a bill demanding that the state as a whole must increase the recycling bill by 75%. Many states are trying to improve the recycling rate as well by creating new programs related to cycling. Some of the tactics that are used are bigger recycling bins that allow consumers to fit more recycled material inside. New recycling trucks that can sort the collected materials and also allow more variety of products to be recycled. If more states use these strategies, the recycling rate in America would grow tremendously. Americans have become more aware of the need to recycle, but there's still a great need around the country for consumers to recycle. Since 1978, over 14,000 landfills have closed, leaving only 6,000 landfills open in the United States. Now here's a picture of some landfills. This is getting dumped off, just getting moved around there. Obviously huge amounts of waste. In the United States, we use up all the land we have set aside for landfills. So eventually, if we keep doing this, there will be no more room left to put the trash, and it will eventually fill our streets, yards, and water. If these products are recycled, it could prolong the closing of our landfills 25% longer. Recycling does not only reduce the amount of material thrown into landfills, but also creates and saves energy as well as the natural resources. More than 50% of new aluminum cans bought at a store is made from previously recycled aluminum can. And recycling old cans reduces the pollution associated with making the new cans by 95%. If Americans recycled at a greater rate, these cans could go from being 50% previously used to about 80 or 90% previously used. Recycling glass saves about 9 gallons of fuel that would be used to make new glass. This would help the environment because we'd be able to save fuel and not put glass and bottles and other materials into landfills. Every ton of paper that is recycled saves about 17 to 19 trees from being cut down. Some curbside recycling. Although it has been said that curbside recycling is not cost effective because of trucks, similar to this, having to go door to door, neighborhood to neighborhood, down the street. The more cost effective curbside, well, the more people that it is, obviously the more cost effective it becomes. But recently, neighborhoods that have been built really far apart has been hurting trucks that recycle. Today, since more people are deciding to recycle, it is costing less than the relation of the amount of recycled goods that Americans receive daily. In the survey that was given to the class, most people said that they recycled at home, but not at school. Some people believe that the campus lacks the adequate facilities needed to recycle. I agree that Florida Southern is not the most green campus per se, but if you look around, there are some places to recycle. For instance, if you go to Tutu's, there are 4 recycling bins to choose from. Also, there are plastic recycling bins around campus. In Hollis, there are paper and plastic recycling bins. The school is working to become more efficient with recycling products, but you can still look for opportunities that are available. We should take care of our environment and recycle in order to save Earth. If we recycle, we can expand our resources and allow them to last longer. Recycling saves money, reduces pollution, and helps the environment. When recycling, the benefits outweigh the costs. As technology and recycling grows, there's no doubt that we'll be able to recycle things that we never could before. For now, if Americans want to keep living in the United States for many generations to come, recycling is a mandatory part of every household, business, and school. My last point is littering. Littering is when products disposed without any consent. The impact that it has on the planet Earth is massive. Cigarettes are the most littered item of our day, with 4.5 trillion cigarette butts discarded improperly on the ground. And unfortunately, they are not biodegradable. Littering can also impact everyone's drinking water by contaminating. Littering is being lazy and thoughtless. So next time, be the better man and protect Mother Earth and go green. Here's what one ton of recycled paper can, well, not that many, but an example of trees. Protect Mother Earth. I have a short video.
This one's for all us longsmiths, grass coolers, doers. Here's to more Saturdays in the sun and budgets better spent.
We're learning about Home Depot.
Yeah,
Here's
it's
to
not
turning
really
your
good.
gifts
Yeah, you have to
into
watch
experts
it.
and shoppers into savers. Here's to picking up, trading up, mixing it up. To well-earned muddy boots and a lot more spring for a dollar. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Every day, Americans go through more than 1 million pounds of aluminum. But for much of this mega material, it won't be its first time around.
It's so recyclable. About 2/3 of the aluminum that's ever been made is still in existence.
While it may take a lot of power to make aluminum, once aluminum oxide is stripped of its oxygen atoms, metallic aluminum is incredibly stable. That means it can be melted down and reused again and again, forever.
Aluminum's like a phoenix. Nothing goes to waste. Everything's recycled.
Recycled cans wind up in a place like this. Anheuser-Busch Recycling Corp. in Hayward, California.
6,000 pounds in there. We're gonna open these doors. Cans are just gonna fall out. After you dump all this, I'll get my guy Robin. We'll just push these cans
needs to be removed.
We try to do the best inspection we can, so we ship these to the mills, get the best loads out that we can.
After inspection, the loose cans fall into the crusher, where a massive hydraulic press crunches them into bales that are perfectly square. Then they're shipped off to the smelter.
They're going to be melted down and made into new aluminum can sheet.
And here's a staggering fact to ponder with friends over a beer. In less than 3 months, an aluminum can circulates once through its life cycle.
That can be all the way through that closed loop system and back into the refrigerator 60 to 90 days later, filled with a new beverage.
All while using much less energy. In Australia, smelters alone consume 10% of the nation's total power. So by recycling, you cut the demand for electricity, and that reduces greenhouse gas emissions.
Recycling aluminum can saves about 95% of the energy required to make a can out of virgin materials.
All right. Well, now you've seen why I think you should recycle at your workplace, home, and at school. It saves a lot of energy. Go green.